Destiny Friedin.
Hello, Indrani.
Hi! It's so nice to talk to you today. Thank you for coming to chat with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, me too. You're such a spectacular actress.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Wait until the world sees what you can do. You know, it's just a matter of time, my friend.
Thank you.
I like to start everyone with why acting? Why? What led you to it?
Yeah.
This path, what was it?
Why act? Well, I got into it very young. I did mainly like stage productions, and I think I've always been a very exuberant personality.
You are.
And I don't know, there's something about being able to almost tap into different parts of yourself, because we all have our main personality.
Yeah.
But being able to tap into, you know, the more innocent childlike side, or the darker, sinister side that is a little bit taboo and you're not able to do certain things, I think it's healing and it's healthy, because we have to put up a certain front all the time that is socially acceptable. But when you can play around in these different roles, it helps you learn more about yourself and almost keeps your sanity in a way when you're breaking your sanity in a sense. Yeah. So if that makes sense. But just being able to really understand myself through other people is always been like so healing for me.
It sounds therapeutic.
Yes, very. Very.
That is a real cool thing that you just said. Mm-hmm. Did you expect that?
I didn't. I think it was just always so fun to see how much fun other people were having. I think the first time I really knew I wanted to do acting in some sort was when I saw Lion King in San Francisco. Yes. Oh my God.
Great.
So good. I saw Lion King, the touring cast in San Francisco, and I was just so enamored. I was like, oh my gosh, you see like all the people, the giraffes and the monkeys and the lions. It's just feeling that energy and being like, wow, I can do that for other people. And I saw when I was very young, and I've had that same glimmer and that same, you know, rose-colored glasses to it all ever since. It's never died for me. And so that's why I'm like, okay, this is it.
That is so cool that you just said something very magical. The fact that you've never lost that. Mm-hmm. Because for some people, it may fade. Yeah. You know, it may dissipate. Mm-hmm. If that happens for people, do you have advice for them?
I would say it's not like my drive has always been the same level. Like I've always been like so gung-ho and like I'm gonna do it. Obviously there's always moments of doubt in all actors' journeys, but I would say I think there's a difference between, you know, losing the spark and just turning it down because of external forces. Exactly. Life happens to everyone and everything, and like, trust me, I know. Yeah. You know I know. Yes. But it's really just like, does this make you tick? Because that's the only reason you should be doing this. Correct. Is if it makes you tick. Because if it doesn't, you're going to go insane. And if it does make you tick, then you are insane. It's true. All actors are a little insane. Yeah. But you really need to love it. And if you still love it, even if you think I can't do this and it's too hard and like I'm literally like out of money and I live in LA, it's if you love it and you still feel it in your gut, then it's like just find a way, because you will forever regret it. And I feel like I will regret it if I stopped. Even as sad as I get, like I will just regret it forever.
Well, the world would be a sad place if you didn't do this. I'm serious. I'm very serious. I feel this is your calling.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. It's wonderful to watch you work. When you get stuck in your work, like it does happen, right? You know, not just in your fire as an actor, but, you know, in your work. It's like, you know, what do you do to change it? You know, to pull yourself out of like frustration. Yeah. You know, you hit the wall.
Yeah. I experienced that recently with the scene I did, where I felt very stuck in it because this character was pulling me into a place that was almost a little too real. And my body was having this reaction where it would not let me. And so I was getting very frustrated, like, why can't I just do it? But I think when I kept dissecting the character and I kept finding the minutia, and I guess being able to comfort myself in a way, that's how I can get out of it, and being like, there's another avenue we can go about this, whether it's I have to change my mindset where I might be like, oh, I don't want to do this, and be like, well, why does this character want to do this? Whereas I might not want to. Why? Just the perspective is everything in acting, is perspective. If you can change the way you're looking at something, then it's going to, on the puzzle pieces are going to fall in place. I feel like that's why a lot of people have frustration, is because they're seeing it in a certain way. But when someone like you enlightens them, exactly, when you enlighten them, be like, what about this? And then you have this aha moment, then it automatically you see all these different paths of how you can go about something if you just alter it a little bit in your own brain.
Got it. What are the things that are easier and more difficult? You lead me to a question about characters that are closer to you.
Yes. Easy and difficult about it?
Yeah.
Easy would be just because it is you at the end of the day, but it's first going to be hard. At least in my experience, it's hard because I always tell you, I feel like I have to act, I have to do something. Right. But, you know, acting is living. It's not putting on a show. It's not, you know, the purpose of acting is not to entertain.
Right.
You know, even though it's entertainment, you know, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you a life experience. I'm not here to make you laugh. I'm not here to make you cry. I'm just here to show you. And
you're like a mirror of sorts.
Exactly. And when I play characters very close to myself, I feel like because I'm not crying or I'm not screaming or I'm not, you know, doing something so different, I do feel this need to entertain. And so when that part goes away, then it becomes very easy because it's just like breathing. Like I'm just living my life and doing what comes naturally because it's me. So yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. So working on set, auditions, or class, have you ever come across a character? I'm sure you have. What is the most difficult character that was very different than you, that challenged you the most?
Yeah. It's difficult character. Ooh. That's different from me.
Yeah. And I mean, you've been doing it for a little while now, so
yeah,
you have a lot.
Go back.
Yeah.
To something that's been different from me.
When you read it and you're like, oh my God, I don't understand this. I don't get it.
Yeah, I would say, I forgot what it was called, but I did it with Jordan, and I forgot her name. Dang, I forgot her name. She was in here today. But it was where I played a drug addict, but not just because they were a drug addict, because it was someone who constantly knew they were doing something wrong, but still did the wrong option. And that's where I had to be like, what is wrong with this person? Like, sorry, but you know, most of us, when we do something wrong, we don't intentionally do something wrong.
Right.
But someone who intentionally does something wrong.
See the error of our ways.
Exactly. Like, and we change, or we try to change.
Grow from it, yeah.
Exactly. But thankfully, I've never had a problem with substance. But when I dive deeper, and I did a lot of research on people that do have problems with substance, and that has been a pattern for a lot of people, that they, you know, do these things, they steal, they lie, they, you know, do all of these things for this, and it's almost like they're out of control. And I became very empathetic to my character.
Empathy.
Yes, exactly. That's another thing where you always say don't judge your character, because then you're going to be playing a caricature, like I'm the bad guy, you know.
Look at me.
Exactly. And when I started becoming empathetic, because I would watch all these videos of the rabbit holes that people can go down when they get into substance, it really made me feel more comfortable in the skin of like why this person is doing these bad, quote unquote, bad things. And at the end of the day, it's like survival. Survival is one of the main reasons. It is the main reason. It's survival. Like
Yes.
we, as like in a very primal way, good or bad decision, we need to survive. And that's what you feel when you're on substances. Like, I need this. I need it. Not I want it. I need it. So that was one of the hardest characters that's so different from me that I, had to really understand in a way where I wasn't seeing them as the bad guy.
So within your character work, you're able to find, there it is.
Yes.
That was your grounding force. Character work.
Character work. Do the character work, please.
Always do the character
It's
work.
a lot and it's grueling, but it pays off.
But it does pay off.
Yes.
It really does give you, from talking to actors, it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom.
Yes, because you have it all in there. Even though you're not going over it 24/7, it's
Right.
there. Everyone's life experience, you're not thinking about every single thing that's ever happened to you, ever.
Right.
But it's there.
Right.
And it comes out naturally. So, yeah, character work. You gotta do it, unfortunately. I wish you didn't, but you do.
Right. It's like, it's always going to pay off in the end.
Yes.
Okay. One last question.
Okay.
This is the one I like to ask all of you. Where, hopefully, if you could paint the picture, do you see your career in the future? Either a filmmaker that you really want to work with, or a certain type of film. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Where would you like to be landed and go? Yes, I did it.
Well, I'm trying to get that EGOT, so that's coming.
Yes. Yes.
But I love Jordan Peele. I love Jordan Peele with everything in me. So if I could do anything associated with him, I love horror. I think because you get to become so unhinged in your imagination, I love just like thinking of the craziest scenarios. That all of his projects are just so crazy where your imagination can run wild and you can have so much freedom in those types of scenarios where it's like what life or death type of thing.
Right.
It's very extreme, but I think it's very entertaining. There's a reason why his movies are so popular.
Yeah.
I would love to work with Zendaya.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
Yes. Yes. And you
day.
did a wonderful horror film.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What was the director's name again?
Vanessa Belichick.
She's coming up.
Amazing.
She's a wonderful filmmaker.
Amazing. I loved working with her. She's
Yeah.
one of the best directors I've worked with. You can tell how passionate she is for her project, and working with all of us actors, just how hands-on she was, just made my job even more easy and enjoyable. Because if I didn't, it would just, I'm winging it, I guess. But when you have a director that's willing to work with you, it's so much fun.
Thank you so much for giving me your generous time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. All right.